Perhaps less to the examples that you're going to use, I will stay on the essence side of the trends that I'm seeing. And I think the kind of first trend that I would like to describe there is to say is, for a long time, a lot of this type of thinking has focused on the environmental need because it is so obvious, it is so concrete, it is staring us in the face, and therefore as the world, as societies, we are really challenged by how do we actually address environmental risks, and therefore we've matured on that part. So the trends that I'm seeing is that there's a very strong shift towards the social part of ESG, and not just per se the social component, but progressing the social investment beyond social injustices and remediating that. And there I could perhaps give a very basic concrete example. So let's say, for example, in any towns, but let's say in small towns, in mining towns in particular, you have, for example, you do see a lot of occurrences of, let's say, domestic violence and alcohol abuse. In the past, we would have just treated that symptom, but now we'll go beyond and say, why is it that there's a propensity of this behavior, and how can we actually root out not just treating the symptoms of stemming why people are drinking, but that leads or results from alcoholism, but what is it that we could do to actually treat the reason of why people actually begin to abuse substances. So it's actually going deeper into the social causes, and how do we shift that to lead to a healthier society and environment in which we operate. And then of course on the governance side too, equally. But the other major trend that I'm seeing is that it is also increasingly beginning to kind of see is how do we actually use things like ESG to strengthen economic value chains that are not at the moment expressly represented in the acronym. So we will soon, I think we will see an evolution in the acronym where economics are actually strengthened by representation in the acronym itself. So how do we spread wealth really and make more inclusive economic cycles so that it's circular and more inclusive.
It's not about rigidity.
It's not about rigidity at all. It's agile. ESG is not in itself, it's just a concept. Yes, we give it a name, but that will evolve too.